Okay, this is part 2 of my Guitar Pro 6 tutorial. This is Doug from fingersonthefrets.com. Thanks for watching. As I left off in part 1, I was saying that a lot of people don't know how to practice. So what we're going to do now is demonstrate how to practice using a Guitar Pro 6 file that I've created. You can find some of these online, but a lot of them, in my opinion, are created by people that are not schooled musicians, and a lot of the chords are wrong, a lot of the rhythms are wrong and things. So it's better if you find one that's written and scored by somebody that has a degree in music like myself that understands things. Now, I will say the one discrepancy I found, and I hope the people at Guitar Pro are watching this, you'll notice that I'm using mainly just one stem. For instance, there's not stem up, stem down, meaning two voices playing, even though it's a classical guitar arrangement. For instance, here you can see this should be a stem down. I understand these things. I have a degree in music. You don't have to tell me that. But the reason I do it this way is when I find if the stem down for the bass note is scored that way with a different voice, when it plays back in my app, using an iPad, it crunches it together somehow and the display is wrong. So I found that if I just use one voice, even though that's technically written improperly, because I would want that bass note to ring for a half note and not just an eighth note, I understand that. But what I'm trying to say is sometimes you have to pick your battles because of the deficiencies in the app. So if anyone at Guitar Pro would love to fix that, that would be wonderful. That's one thing that I would notice. But again, I know these things. So let me go forward. Here is your tune with the countdown. Okay, now let's say you can't play that fast. Well, you take your cursor at the bottom and you go to 50%, 0.5. And now it's much slower. I'm going to take the countdown off because that will take up too much time. Okay, so now you should be able to get through with it. So let's just say you're having trouble with measure 1. Well, check it out. Tap and hold. It highlights it in blue. Now, measure 1 will repeat indefinitely until the battery runs out. And let's say you can't see it. Well, go to the larger setting. I'm sorry. Wow. Look at that. Now, you can just indefinitely follow the red line and just kind of practice. So I'm going to go back to the medium setting. This is where the breakdown happens with, I would say, 90% of the people that I teach. What they'll do is they'll start to play the tune and they'll they want to play it the way that it sounds or the way they think it should sound. And what will happen is I'm going to try to make a mistake here. Okay, so then let's say they get a problem with the B minor chord. So instead of highlighting this little area right here and being smart and saying, well, my discrepancy is between the A to the B minor, and then going like this with the file, and you do that, I would say, until it sounds correct at the tempo that you're trying to achieve, like 50%. And once you achieve that, you take your little cursor and you go to 60%, 70%, 80%, and you fix that little area. This is where the breakdown occurs. Everybody sees this, the macro, okay? They don't want to see the micro. This little cursor, and this is the value of this tool. It's a fantastic tool. There you go. Let's say let's say you want to work on something even smaller. You know, you want to just work on that part or whatever it is. And the little X, you click out, it disappears. So that's how you should practice. Once you get it, then you can speed it back up to the standard tempo and try to practice it. But the breakdown occurs when you see the macro and you feel like you want to play the whole tune and you get excited and you don't work on these little areas. So record yourself playing with the Guitar Pro 6 file. in the background and at these slower tempos, and then weekly or every couple of days move up the tempo to get it to where you want it to play. That is an effective practice method. It's not the only practice method, but it's a really good one. So in summary, choose a song, bring it in. If you can't play it at the desired tempo, slow it down, maybe 50%. Here's the countdown if you need the countdown. If you find that you're getting really good at a certain area, great. Go to the area that's giving you trouble. Press and hold the cursor. It'll highlight, and you can drag the blue ball to where the problem area is. Repeat that problem area at the slow tempo until you achieve it. Then back out of that and try to play it again. Or what you can do is take that area and just extend it and say, well, that was my problem. Now I'm going to extend it through 2 measures. Once you get these 2 measures, go to these 2 measures. Repeat that at 50% until you can achieve it. Then try to play 4 measures together at 50%, and then go to 60%, 70% down here. That's your practice for the day. Write it down. The next day when you come back, you should try 60 and then achieve 80%, or however you want to approach it. But it's very systematic. And again, this is where I find that people break down. They want to just play the whole song, and within the tune, there's little breakdowns, but they don't want to stop and be true to themselves and say, and be honest and say, you know what, this is really where it's breaking down. Let me just dive in here. That's the problem that I see with most of my students and myself, frankly. I mean, I get excited as well. So, you have to kind of be honest with yourself and say, where is the problem? So anyway, enough preaching for today. Doug Edgell here at fingersonthefrets.com. Here is Guitar Pro. Fantastic tool. Couple discrepancies that I found, but hopefully they'll work those out in the future. I've got tons of these things scored at my website, fingersonthefrets.com. If you're a subscriber, you can access all these wonderful Guitar Pro 6 files. If not, you can just get the PDF, and not quite as effective as a practice tool, but still works great. All right, good luck, everybody, and I'll see you next time.